We are live. Hooray! We are the Mad Scientists. This is Mad Frankie. That's me. This is Violet Iger over here. And together we make the Mad Scientists.
Oh, that's a good one.
Bingo.
I'm going to go over here. We're going to mention that this is part 2, right?
Yeah. Yep, we will mention this is part 2. This is how far we've got with part 1.
Yep. And this is, again, this is the honesty plant. Oh, you don't have the real one with you. You've moved it. There
Yes,
it
I
is.
do.
There it is.
Now, I did this last time, and there are a few bits I want to change. Like, I've just changed this bit by sucking up a little bit of it, and I'll just change a little bit of this as well. The same thing. Pretty much the same idea. I've just put some water down, as you saw. So I'll just go over that and soak some of that up. Probably not enough. Might need to put a bit more on. Yes, and I can see now where I want to put a bit more. I want it to be a bit paler. Right. What I want to do is again put some red back into here. And that involves me trying to remember what it was I used. And I'm thinking that it was the Perylene Maroon. Possibly. Yes, I think it was the Perylene Maroon, this one. So I'll put some more of that in. But I also want to have some of the gamboge ready. This gamboge here. Now I'm using a smaller brush. This is a 1. I don't know what it is. It's supposed to be a Winsor & Newton, but it's got funny Chinese letters on it, so who knows? More gamboge. Just give it a nice bit of squidgels. Because this is the Perylene Maroon I was using. Let's get those out of the way. There. But I want more water, so I'm going to get one of my... Let's get the biggie. It's easier to add water with that. Right. Yes, that's better. I'm going to add a little yellow to here. Particularly there, I want that. What do I do with the Perylene Maroon? Okay, what do I do with it? Anybody remember what I did with it? Oh, put it underneath the board.
I was muted, but I was laughing. Sorry.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Is it?
Yeah. To encourage you.
Is that what you call it?
Uh-huh.
There's a bit round this edge here. I want to get that to a nice little point. It's better. And now I'm going to take a big risk. This probably isn't going to work. So, don't hold your breath. I can always take the paint off and start again. So, ultramarine blue intense. Rinse that. Go back to the maroon again. Want a little bit more maroon. That's enough. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that. I mean, not much because it's doing pretty much. Actually, I might just leave it. It is doing pretty much what I wanted it to. Yes, I think I'll leave it because I think that's doing what I want. It's given a distinction between these two. And there wasn't so much. Even though that was a darker red, it wasn't the kind of effect I was hoping for. So of these others, I don't think I'll continue painting those because I've got something else in my head I've got to get rid of. And it involves this one. Put that flat on the floor behind me so that it dries. Now, on this one, I have rubbed out some of the pencil marks because they were done in quite a darkish pencil. And I don't want too much of that to overshadow. Just enough so I can see the shapes, but not too much. Because I want to go over this and do the same thing as I did with the other one, doing the background first. But I must try to remember when I get close to the flower to go in with something small like that so I can get an edge up to it. If you remember on the other one, I went over some of these ones here and here, and that red one, you could see around the edge where I'd gone over with the background and it blurred the colour that I wanted in the honesty seed. So we're trying to negate that a bit.
I'm actually not quite sure I understand what you mean, but as long as you do.
Well, when I used a big brush. When I did the background, my hand was not particularly accurate around the edge of the shapes of the flat seed heads. Right, so I overran it and blodged over it.
I know what you mean. You got too close.
Not too close. I went right over it.
Yeah, so, you have to. So you're saying you don't want to color outside the lines. So what you want to do is not get close to the lines and let the color bleed to it.
No, what I'm saying is I want to get close to the line, but not go over it like I did in the other one. Because in the other one, I went at least that much over the line.
Yeah.
I didn't go here. I went over the line. That's because I'm hack-handed and I was in a hurry, and you know. So I'm going to try not to do that this time.
It's trial and error, but you're not using the you know what the
mop brush.
The resist. You're not using the mask.
Let's try with this because I was handier with that, wasn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the flat oval. Not flat oval, the pointed oval wash. Because with that, I get a beautiful point on the end when it's damp. So let's have a go try at that. Now, wait a minute. There's one here. I wanted to take a few more of these bits off. I'll still leave them the shape. See, I'm not taking it off completely, this line of pencil. But because I used a nice soft pencil, I can go in and sort of remove bits of it without making too much of a mess. And without leaving a hard line indented into the paper, because as it was a soft pencil, I didn't have to press hard. Right, let's have a go. Now, I want to do this pretty dark, so I'm going to start with things like indigo. I've got Prussian blue there, and there's indigo hue. What have I got in the other one? Have I got an indigo in there? Have I got an indigo in here? I've got Windsor blue, but I haven't got an indigo. Yes. What about Rosa? There's no indigo in there either. I must have an indigo somewhere. I mean, I know I've got one in the Kiritaki. The blue is blue, but it's not indigo. I think the indigo hue and the Prussian blue are going to have to do the job. What's that one? I think that's violet, isn't it? Mineral violet, yeah. Right. Well, let's go with those and see what happens. And what I need to do as well is to mop up this mess. Can you see that I've got a mess in here? Got nowhere left to paint. I'm going to have to wipe it up. Let's have a go with this. I was doing some painting out in a cafe left behind my palette, but that's not what I want to talk about. Now, the point is, I had left the palette open to the air because it was still wet, and I had not finished what I was doing, and I wanted to keep those colours because those were the colours I was working on. So in that case, you would keep your palette handy to use when you need it. So now that I'm ready, finally, rinse out that brush because I want to use it. Now, so I want to use the indigo and possibly the Prussian blue, but definitely the indigo. Let's have a go with the indigo. Now, I may put some, probably will, in fact, put some Payne's grey or some shadow grey or perhaps even a tinge of black in, because I do want this really black. Well, really dark, not necessarily black, though. But if I use blue, I can get it really dark, but still have a bit of colour in. Oh, and I've already gone over that. Look at that. I just don't look what I'm doing. Now, with this, now that I've already done the drawing, I don't need to have it straight up and down when I'm painting. So I can turn this around in order to get around that awkward angle. It's harder to do that than it is to do that. Deepening it here and there. Well, there's one thing I can tell going over this, that I didn't soak this paper too long in the water when I was doing the stretching part of my business with this, because I can see how it's sort of the way, it's just something about the way the brush is reacting, the paint-filled brush is reacting to the paper. I can see that the size is still in there. Oh, dang it. Messed up that one now. Do try not to put your finger on your painting, because there's bound to be some paint on it if you're anything like me. I just added paint to that and I did not want to.
Is it time to just take a deep breath? Oh my gosh, Fran, there's an echo.
Is there?
Yeah, do you have something else open?
No.
There's a echo for sure.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
It's not that.
it's random, I think. Um, is it time to take a deep breath and calm and less rushed?
Yeah, that is exactly what you need to do. Yeah.
Yep. Not in a hurry. Not in a hurry.
Mhm. Tell where the ink is, the paint is flooding because I've got it on me and on there and yeah, everywhere. Trying to remember to use the clean water now because I just want to put water on here and then I will allow some colour to flood in. Seems to me that this sort of painting is definitely a job of two halves because you're putting water on or water and paint and then you're putting the more detailed stuff in the middle. But I shouldn't say detailed because I don't want it to be detailed. But the trouble is, that's not quite what I mean. I do want it to be detailed, but not in a very detailed way. It's very difficult trying to explain what I mean.
You want it to be detailed, but loosely detailed.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
The issue is how to get that. And that's a matter of reteaching your hand and your mind and your eye, I suppose.
Exactly.
Well, it's like any other craft that we learn. It's like sewing. You have to learn. Your stitches aren't perfect the first time you sew.
No.
I'm speaking hand sewing, but if in my case, also on the machine.
Yeah, me too.
Try to draw a straight line. Go ahead, try, because I have a very slight tremor. Mine will twitch all of a sudden. That'll do
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Where were we? We were trying to salvage this picture, which is now drying out too fast in various places, but there we go.
Well, it's soon enough that you could drop a little bit of water on it and reactivate it.
I am trying to do that all the time, yes. Well, luckily, I want the background to be darker than this, so I should be able to, in that way, salvage it. I'm just lifting this up so I can get it, hopefully, to do a bit of moving.
On the other one, you had all one color for the background. Well, you had three.
No, I had 3 colors. Yeah,
you had 3 colors, but on the area where there was just one color, you had tones of it.
Yeah,
and I love it. I love those different tones because they made me think of like shadows and movement.
almost there. Almost there. Last little bit here. I want to trying to keep the other bits damp at the same time, which is not easy. And this is a great test to see if this method of stretching is going to work. Going up the outside of that one. One more to do. This one. And the other side again. This little bit that I haven't finished. There we go. And there's a little tiny bit around here that I haven't quite got right. Right, colour. Colour, finally, lots of colour. I'm getting a funny shadow here, so I'm going to put more water. I like that, but I'm going to add more.
I could see you doing a project where you mask out the honesty plant and you then do a watercolor on gel plate pull for the background.
Yeah.
And then
that's not a bad idea. We must have a go at that sometime.
And then once it dries, then you come back and peel the mask and do your...
Well, hopefully, that's always a possibility that a gel plate may lift up the masking fluid, but you don't know until you try.
Exactly. I just thought it just made me think that you would get a more abstract background.
Mm-hmm. Can see where there's some flooding away here where I dabbed out that mistake in there. And no, it wasn't a happy accident. It was definitely a mistake. I definitely like this brush. Considering what a mess I made of the outlines yesterday, I was in a bit of a hurry, but yeah, considering the mess I made yesterday, I'm making much less of a mess today with this one. It is so much more handleable.
Did you get a chance to watch P do the Kuretake graphite?
I've watched some of it. I haven't watched all of it.
And the brush that she
halfway through. Yeah. She was using a
Princeton.
Yeah. Neptune.
Yeah, I called it a chisel brush. I'm not sure if that's correct. But I loved what she did with it. And she was, did you notice she was very loose? Well, she was loose with the um,
With the little cards, yes.
flower petals.
She's got very good action with her brush on that. Very, very good. I envy her that. I'd like to see that in more slow motion.
You think that practice helps?
Yeah, well, I'd like to see exactly what she's doing so that then we can practice it, you know? Because when she's got her hand like that, you can't see what she's doing.
Oh, well, you need to tell Mariah to do a short then.
Yeah.
P from the side, making those flower petals.
Yeah.
That would be yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I enjoyed watching her make them. I love that brush that she has. I want it. I have it in my my wish cart on, you know, on the site, the place.
That site, that place we all go and get lovely
Yeah,
packaging.
you know where I mean.
Yeah. The place we all know, and I'm not going to mention.
It was just funny because while I was watching her, I was thinking Princeton. I'm like, I need to go look at the Princeton brushes because that's one I want. And then when she stopped long enough to say what the brush was, I'm like, see, I knew. I just knew. I couldn't read it. I couldn't see the name on it or anything, but I just had a feeling. But yeah, a side shot of her putting those petals down using that, anything using that brush would be lovely.
This is going to dry light, and I've got a feeling I'm probably going to need to put another layer on because it's blue, but I don't know. We'll see. When it dries, we'll see just how light it is. We'll find out then.
All right.
And all I'm doing here is just adding more paint, so it's going to be nice and dark when it dries. I don't mind there being some lighter areas. I really don't. But
well, like I said, on the other one, I really love the tones.
You mean the one I started with today?
No, the one you did the other day.
Which one?
The one you've already finished and you bled. You went too far in, you said.
Oh, that was the one I started with today. Yeah.
Oh, that you started with today. I thought you said started today. No.
No, started with today.
Okay.
This one I put on the floor. Let me get it up again.
Yeah, it's got good tones. It's got the three colors, but the main color is...
It's okay for what it is, but it isn't what I had in mind. That's the thing. I'm trying to get my chair nearer and it's gone away. Right.
I like it.
What I'm saying is, yeah, but it's not what I had in mind. So if for me, I would be going over it again. But you can see now where I've gone well over the line here. Yeah. The best thing to do really is to go over it completely. Let this color fade into it. Oh, I don't know.
Well, the thing that I'm seeing is that because it's around the lines, you're going around the outside edge anyway to highlight it. So
yeah, but I'm having to paint over some of this color in here because it flooded over the edge like it has here.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I happen to like
I
it.
mean, it's hard to see, but you can see how it's gone over it,
I could see it.
which means I don't. That's why you really need to put down masking tape or masking fluid so that you get a clear color in that patch that you want that clear color to be. Yes. Yes. I've got another one to try next time. So just have to create another design on it. But I'm liking the actual design. Now you see it like this.
Yeah.
I'm quite like the actual shape of it, the design of it. I'm quite happy with that. So that we will leave now to dry. And this is going to be really quite pale here. But I actually don't mind that so much, because this is likely to be a slightly darker color, and this, whereas the others are going to be not so, if my plan works. We'll have to see if my plan works. But that's it for there. I mean, fancy doing a whole thing and it's all just putting on one layer. You could do a really fast one going. Yeah. Turn it into a short, 60 seconds. Whoosh.
Well, I don't think I could cut that much, but okay.
Okie dokie. Well, let's see how it turns out anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be as dim as I suspect. But yeah, I'm quite liking that darkness of that colour there. But of course, as I say, it won't stay. Anyway, so let us say bye-bye for now. Where's my little button? There it is up there. And what have you been doing?
Oh, I've got stuff over there drying on the shelf, so I don't want to move it and then move the water. So
okay.
I'll show it to you, but
I was just, okay.
Wetting paper mostly, just wetting paper.
Yeah, ditto. Pretty much the same. The wetting paper episode. Okay, let's say bye-bye.
Let's say bye-bye. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.